I thank you for taking your time to sign up for this webinar. And in this webinar, I'm going to share with you how you can get more leads in the next 30 days than your past 6 months combined. Now, you may be in any kind of business, but as long as you are in a business that deals with the end consumer, then this webinar is for you. And this will be the most powerful webinar you're going to see on lead generation. My name is Samuel, and I have been doing lead generation for the past 4 years, and there are a few things that I have kind of put together after my years of experience within this very specialized and niche area. And I think at the end of the day, it all boils down to the fact that if you're in business, you need leads, because leads convert to sale and eventually converts to profit. And no matter what kind of business you are in, this is something that you cannot escape from, because at the end of the day, you need somebody to buy your product before anything even happens. And personally, I've been in a few different businesses, but what has not changed from business to business for me over the past 4 years was that I always had this talent for lead generation that I kind of discovered along the way. At first, I wasn't really conscious about it. I thought it was a very natural process that people would always be good at. But after a while, I realized that there are more people who are good at what they do than selling what they do, if that makes sense. And that really got me interested. And I wanted to start a platform where I could help people to spread their message through a very systematic way of getting leads. And the truth about how I do business is this. Of all these different businesses that I've been in, the health business, I did corporate sales, I had a fitness plus company, I had a personal training business, I had a financial advisory business, recruitment business, coaching, consulting. In every single one of my business, 95% of my customers are people I don't know. These are people who don't know me, I don't know them, and there's no reason for them to buy from me except for the fact that they want what I want. And in just a minute, I'm going to show you exactly how I made use of my talent for lead generation to actually systematically, through social media, sieve out these people who are more than ready to buy your product and your offering immediately on the first encounter. And this is exactly what you'll be getting in this webinar. I'm going to show you the step-by-step system. I'm going to break it down for you on how you can get more leads in the next 30 days than you did for the past 6 months combined, without you having to rely on your warm market, referral, or cold calling. And this will work even if you are new in your industry, even if you don't consider yourself to be the best or to be the cheapest, and even if you don't have a website. In fact, you don't need a website. And this is going to work even if you don't want to overly expose your identity. I understand that some of you are in the industry whereby you might not want your competitors to know what you're doing. And this will work even if you have dabbled with content marketing stuff, blogging, and a whole bunch of other things that didn't produce result. This is going to be very, very different from everything you've seen before. And as long as you have an ethical offer, you believe in your product, and you truly can help people, and you know there are people out there who need your offering, then this presentation will be the best presentation you have seen in your life. And now I'm going to give you the 3 secrets to massive lead generation. Secret number 1, relying on your warm market, referrals, and cold calling is not a sustainable mode of doing business. Secret number 2, you do not need years of experience, tons of testimonials to be the best in your industry to get tons of leads. Secret number 3, it is easier to attract leads than to chase after them. Now, relying on your warm market, referrals, and cold calling is not a sustainable mode of doing business. Now, am I saying that these things don't work? No, I'm not saying that. These things do work, and there is a time and place, I believe, for these things. But let me ask you one question. When was the last somebody cold called you? Or when was the last you cold called somebody? And how did that feel like? Did that feel natural? Did that feel good? Or did that feel more like you are interrupting their day? You are interrupting their flow of things, and they don't give you a very good response. And the problem with cold calling, I've realized over time, is that although it is a viable method, what happens is the minute you cold call, and I teach this to all my students, the minute you cold call, you lose all your positioning. Sales is about positioning. You need your client to look you up as the authority. And have you seen any doctor cold calling before? That's my point. The moment you pick up the phone and do a cold call, what happens is you have just given up the power to be the authority, because you are now seen as begging for the sale. Now, there is a time and place for cold calling. But what I'm saying is, in this day and age, there are plenty of methods out there that can help you to attract clients without you even having to cold call. And cold calling is not one of the ways that top performers are using to get to where they are. And some of you may think, oh, but it's a law of large numbers. But the truth is, and you probably know this as well, it's not just about working hard. I'll give you an example. Think of the top performer in your space right now. You could be in the financial industry, you could be in a health business, you could be in the training business, in coaching business, you could be selling stuff. Think of the top performer in your space right now. How much do they make? Do they make 10 times more than you? 20 times more than you? 100 times more than you? Let me ask you one question. Are they working 100 times higher than you? Are they even working 3 times higher than you if they make twice the amount you make? The answer is no. How could they possibly work harder than you? I mean, I'm assuming you work pretty hard. So once you understand that, you know that it's no longer just about working hard. It's not just about the numbers. It's not just about hustling. It's not just about staying up another 2 hours to make that call. It's not just about that. You need to have a systematic way of getting leads. And you need a very different approach if you want to make it big. If you want an incremental improvement, you want to get a few more sales, yes, maybe you can stay 2 more hours to make 2 more calls. But if you want to revamp your business model, if you want to scale it up 10x, it's not just about working 10 times harder. I mean, how many hours can you have in a day? How many calls can you make in a day? You got to change something. And that something is that instead of chasing after clients, you need to start attracting clients. And we're going to talk about it in just a minute. And some of you may be thinking, oh, well, but I can always depend on referrals and warm market. And you're right. But would you agree with me if I say that these things are not as predictable as a proven lead generation system? What do I mean by not predictable? You see, when they depend on referrals and warm market, yes, you can build great connections. Yes, you can have great relationships with people. But at the end of the day, even you agree that it is not something that's up to you. Meaning, if you want people to refer you, if you want to depend on a warm market, and not everybody has that kind of warm market, not everybody has the kind of connections. Me, for example, I don't come from a very, very well-to-do background, so I don't have the kind of connections. So I'm forced to learn how to generate leads. If you're in a space whereby you happen to have connections and you're well-to-do, I think that's great. But on top of that, if you want to take your business to the next level, if you want to recruit people under you, if you want to build a business that is scalable, you need to go beyond just a referral markets. You can best believe me that people who build 7-figure business, 8-figure business, 9-figure business, they are not depending purely on their warm market and referrals, no matter how good they are at building rapport. And worse still, networking events. How many of you have been to networking events, spent a couple of hours going for like a few networking events every single month just to meet that 1 or 2 half-ass, ice-cold, skeptical prospect who are not even ready to buy from you in the first place? Why do you keep going to networking events? In a networking event, what happens is over time, it becomes very, very saturated and everybody is there for the same reason. And what happens when somebody offers you their offering at a networking event? You want to run, and that is a problem. So when you go to a networking event, when you pitch to someone, it is not as effective anymore because the fact is people don't want to be pitched to. And that is the problem with networking events. And that is why all these different methods that I've mentioned so far, these are non-predictable lead flow. And what do I define as predictable lead flow? A predictable lead flow is when you are able to buy leads with your money. Networking events, referral, warm market, cold calling. Can you buy leads with your money? Not really. And what I'm talking about is a proven client attraction system via social media that allows you to literally put $1 in and get $3 out. And that is only possible if you have a very systematic lead generation structure, which I'm going to share with you about in just a minute. All right? And here's secret number 2. You do not need years of experience, tons of testimonials, or be the best in the industry to get tons of leads. Now, am I saying that you should not be good at what you do? Absolutely not. You should be damn good at what you do. And in fact, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, I assume that you're already damn good at what you do. The question is, how can you let other people know that? And how can you get other people to pay you for being good at what you do? And this is something that I really want you to understand because it took me a long time to understand this. Don't solve a marketing problem with knowledge. If you have a marketing problem, face up to it and solve the marketing problem. It is not about getting more knowledge. It is not about getting that one more certification. It is not about getting that one more testimonial. It is not about getting that extra knowledge. It doesn't help. At the end of the day, if I could give you an example, is this the best phone? This is an iPhone, right? It's 30% more expensive than any other phone out there. Is this the best phone? The truth is, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but nobody really cares. Because Steve Jobs have done such a good job at marketing it, at selling his vision to the world, that people are literally buying into the Apple vision. And many people think Steve Jobs is an engineer. He's not an engineer. He's a salesperson. He's a great salesperson. He's able to sell his vision to people. He's able to market his products to people in a way that is beyond just the technical specification. And best believe that most people who buy an iPhone, for example me, don't even know what's going on with the technical side of things, right? We just buy it because it's iPhone. And that is where you want to be. You want to be able to compete in your space at that level. And that only happens when you have a proven client attraction system. And if you can't market yourself, you will be the world's best kept secret. In your space right now, as I'm speaking, there are people who do not do the job as good as you, but they are getting more customers than you. Would you believe me on that? They are not as good as you, but they are getting more customers than you. How many of you know people like that? Most probably, because they are good at marketing, and that makes a world of difference. It is not just about doing what you do, it's about selling, it's about marketing what you do. And secret number 3, it is actually easier to attract leads than to chase after them. Now, some of you who are very used to active prospecting may not understand what I'm saying, but let me qualify my statement. Many of you, if you're in sales, if you're in business, you should already know this thing. People don't like to be sold to, they like to buy. You see, when you actively prospect, why do people always give you resistance? When you cold call, why do people give you resistance? Have you ever realized? For example, if somebody cold calls you right now, why do you give resistance? Because humans, we don't like to feel like we are sold to. I don't like to feel as though I've given you the upper hand. I don't like to feel as though you've got me. I want to discover it myself. I want to find out about something myself. I don't want to be sold to, right? And let me give you an example. If you go to a shop right now, and assuming you want to buy something, and you already have the buying intent, right, as we call it in sales, and the store assistant comes up to you, and the store assistant goes, "Hey sir, what would you like to buy?" What is your immediate response? 90% of the time, you would just say something like, "Oh no, I'm just looking around," right? You would say that because she or he has triggered that psychological response in you. And even if you're a ready buyer, you will just have that resistance because it's subconscious. And once you understand that, why are you still keep actively prospecting people who are not ready? All you're doing is triggering that psychological resistance in them. And even if they're ready, when you position it this way, when you're going after leads, when you're chasing leads, what happens is that it decreases your positioning, and it triggers that psychological response in the consumer to want to go away. Because the more you chase, the more they want to go away. So instead of chasing, instead of prospecting, instead of cold calling, I want you to switch your mindset to become an attraction mindset. Attract the leads with what you have. Attract the correct kind of customer. Attract the people you want to work with instead of chasing them. And once you have this paradigm shift, you will find it a lot easier to scale and grow your business. Because when you attract, you are the authority. And only when you are the authority, you can truly help them. Because again, if your customers don't believe you, if they don't trust you, if they don't think that you are the absolute authority in your niche, there's no way you can impact them that positively. So remember, people don't like to be sold to, they like to buy. And those are the 3 secrets of massive lead generation. But again, I'm a practitioner, so I like to show you some of the actual campaigns that we've run so far. And I want to bring you behind the scenes to kind of understand how we actually achieved it. And this is one of the campaigns we've run. NSS 50X is one of the more common one you may have known of it. So this is a financial platform for NSFs, for Army boys. And we started it, I think, 6 months ago. It has been crazy. We've gotten thousands and thousands of leads from this one page. And as you can see, we have all these different testimonials. And we literally built a blue ocean strategy within a red ocean. A blue ocean strategy meaning a space that is we basically went into a field that was hyper competitive. For any of you out there who know the financial market, you should understand that it is hyper competitive. People are doing roadshows, people are doing all kinds of things, right? It's hyper competitive. But we went inside, we identified a niche, and we built a client attraction system that could reposition us and position us as the absolute authority in that particular niche, and we absolutely dominated it. And these are some of the results that we have. So this is one of the ads that we ran in the very first few months, and can you see 1.6k messaging replies? every one of those is a ready buyer that is prepared to take up the solution that we have. Of course, we didn't close all, but I want to show you the possibility of what can happen when you learn how to attract instead of chasing after people. This is the power. And a few more different ads that I've run. As you can see, I own a few different pages. On the left-hand side is my own personal page. All these are the actual results that we have. And these are real results. As you can see, Student Entrepreneur Energy is one of my recruitment sites. The leads, and these are just one of the campaigns that we have. For each of these pages, I run over 10 to 20 campaigns over the entire lifetime. So you can just imagine the overall results. And I just want to show you this, not to go into the technical portion, but I wanted you to have a glimpse of what could be possible if you truly switched from a chasing to attraction mentality. And it's not just about the leads. It's not just about getting cheap leads. You need to learn how to convert the leads into cash, into sale. And that is why you need to learn how you can pre-sell the lead before the meeting. By the time you meet the person, and the reason why we can close on the first encounter is because by the time you meet the person is already ready. Because the sale doesn't start from the first encounter, it starts way before that. The sale starts way before that. Even before we meet the person for the first time, we've already engaged the person, we've already communicated with the person, we've already pre-sold the lead and pre-qualified the lead. And I'm also going to go through with you how you can counter the common objections so that you can close on the first encounter, and how do you ask for the money up front without beating around the bush. Too many marketers out there, they will teach you how to get leads, they will teach you how to do all these different things, but they do not teach you how to get the money. How do you get someone to pay you up front? How do you do that? If you can't do that, if you can't close, then we are going to have a problem. It doesn't matter how many leads I get you. If you can't close, then we are going to have a problem. So again, this is something that we'll go through as well. We'll teach you exactly how you can close the leads that you've gotten from our client attraction strategy. And we also go through with it as a bonus, how you can charge premium prices and still have clients lining up to work with you, and why competitive pricing is not a good strategy. How many of you have researched your competitor's price and base your price off them? Let me give you a mini tip. Stop doing that. You know why? Because when you price based on a competitor's price, you are basically allowing somebody else to determine your price, which is not the case. You want to be pricing based on the value that you provide. Take me, for example, the prices I charge across my businesses, they are all premium prices. Why? Because I provide more value than any other expert or so-called guru in my niche, and that is why I truly stand by. So if you believe that what you have is truly valuable, raise your prices and back it up with your results. Don't base your prices off your competitors' prices. It doesn't make sense. If they are doing less and they charge less, why should I be like them? I'm doing so much more. I should be charging more. That is the mindset you want to have. And when it comes to social media marketing, it's not about having a blog, lead generation. It's not about having a website. It's not about having a huge following. It's not about having testimonials. It's none of this. And this is the approach that we actually use at the Leads Machine. We execute our strategies through social media, and it's a direct to monetization approach. Meaning we don't go through a whole 12-page sequence to build relationship, to do branding, and all these different things which are good. But show me the money. That is what we are focusing on at the start. Show me the money. And I'm not saying this because I'm materialistic. And if any of you are in business, you should know this by now. The profits, that is the downline of a business, the bottom line of a business. If you cannot solve that, you will not sustain. And if you will not sustain, none of that branding, content, marketing stuff will work. Until you have a proven lead gen strategy, everything else does not matter. And that is why we take on a no BS approach. BS or bullshit, yes, you're right. A no BS approach to getting you the leads that you need. And we are fully committed to provide you results-based consulting to start, grow, and scale your business. And some of you may have seen, this is one of my video that I posted on my page. And the title is, if you can't sell them, you can't help them. I want to spend a bit of time talking about this because I work with so many different coaches, consultants, business owners, entrepreneurs. And one thing I realize is the barrier to entry for most of them is that they always feel as though they feel this compelling need to be nice. And when I say nice, I mean giving a prospect time to think about it. Not being too aggressive in your marketing strategy. Understanding that people need to talk to their spouse. This is what I mean by being nice. But if you want to be in sales, if you want to truly help people, and if you believe that your product can truly help people out, if you believe that your product can truly help then it is your moral obligation to sell them, because if you don't sell them, you cannot help them. And if you'd like to get more leads in the next 30 days than your past 6 months combined, then you're in the right place. But again, this is not for everyone. I want to emphasize that this is only for the business owner, entrepreneur, coach, consultant, service provider who actually solves a real need in the market, meaning what they have is something that people really need. It must be something that is legal, that is ethical, and more importantly, you must be coachable and willing to invest money in a proven mentor and system. And if that is you, I want to invite you to book your breakthrough call with me. And I'm only taking in 3 free calls per month. And on this call, I will help you personally to build your leads machine. And this leads machine will consist of 4 different elements. Number 1, a can't be refused offer valued at $497. What this means is that I will help you craft an offer based on your product or service that your target audience cannot logically refuse. And number 2, advanced leads targeting system. I will show you exactly how you can leverage on social media to target, be laser focused on finding out leads who are ready buyers and people who are already wanting to have, they already have buying intentions, and how can you appear magically in front of them and sell your service to them. And number 3, authoritative closing on a first encounter. Way too many salespeople are not able to close on the first encounter, and even if they have a hell lot of leads, they are not able to close it. And if you can't close it, it doesn't matter. So you need to learn how to close, and that is what we're going through as well. And more importantly, number 4, a proceed or retreat technique to filter out non-buyers. Let's face it, too many salespeople waste precious time talking to people who are non-buyers, people who will never do business with them. And I'll give you the exact strategy to actually filter out these non-buyers so that you only focus your time on serious, committed buyers. And of course, lastly, you'll get to pick my brains over the call, and this is truly priceless. So the whole package is worth $4,997, and these are things that I've paid good money and spent a lot of time to learn. You can be sure that I've spent way more than just $4,997. I've spent multiple 5 figures of my own money attending seminars. And for those of you who follow me personally on my page, you will know that I actually posted this video where I explain my rationale